Hey there! I'm here today with loud traffic in the background, with a build video. This is kind of a crazy build. So basically, I want to do some gameplay that's based on the House of Misfits challenge that was created by Dlarby88. I don't think I'm pronouncing that right, but okay. And so the idea is that you make three different houses and you have different Sims live, like basically, in this case, I'm going to do 6 kids in each house. And then you put a professor in each house. So just an adult Sim. And I'm also going to put a pet in each house as well, I decided. And so that we have all 8 Sims. And basically, it's kind of like, I'm treating it more like they're in boarding school. And like each house is going to compete against each other in different like contests. So you'll see here that, obviously it's a house for 7 Sims and a cat. In this case, I decided they're going to have a cat in this house. And basically, there will be 2 other houses, and in each one, they're going to every day do... I downloaded Little Miss Sam's... she has a Better School System mod, and part of that is an online school system. So basically, I'm going to have them do that every day, but then also each week of gameplay, you will have them focus on a different skill or activity. And then at the end, you have all of the Sims do something for that skill and see who has the best outcome, and that one is the winner. So for example, in this case, they all will have I don't know, there's the art little craft table and they'll all do that and try to gain the creativity skill. And then at the end of the week, you have them all do maybe one of the seasonal crafts, and whoever's is the best quality, which I guess would be judged based on how much you can sell it for, is the winner. And then that winner, in this case, I made the rooms. So there are 4 rooms for the kids. 2 of them have lofted beds, and then 2 of them have full size queen beds. And so for me, the prize is going to be that the winner for the previous week gets to sleep the next week in the nice, cool bedroom. But so getting back to this house specifically, this is going to be the fun, really kid-oriented house. You can see, so when I built this, it was the day that the, what is that even called anymore? The backyard fun. The Little Campers, is that what it is? The Little Campers kit came out, with those really cute, I think it's a really cute kit. And so I had just gotten that, and so I wanted to kind of build around those items, and so I decided to make it a really bright, colorful, kind of eccentric almost house. You'll see a lot of the stuff I'm putting down is not stuff I usually build with. It's all of the really loud, super colorful items in the game. But with the exception of what I'm building here, which is what's going to be the professor's little studio apartment at the top of the house, kind of, which I thought it would kind of be funny and almost true to life for it to be the teacher has to live in this kind of bland, boring apartment where everything is kind of the cheapest version of everything, and then the rest of the house that's meant for the kids in the boarding school is some of the most expensive stuff in the game. I just felt that was kind of realistic. This teacher has to live sort of in squalor while the kids have super nice things. So yeah, I think it's gonna be really cool to do this House of Misfits thing. It just seems like a really interesting gameplay. Oh, and the other thing I didn't mention is so you have them do the school, like the online school. And then you have them spend however many hours you dedicate to like building that specific skill. And then the rest of the time you just kind of let them do their thing. Like you don't really affect their gameplay too much. So, and then you just kind of see like how the Sims develop on their own. Like what skills they develop, who they become friends with. And the other thing is, so like obviously a lot of the stuff will be like inter-house challenges, like person to person, but then also we'll do like house against house. And so you'll see, you kind of just see randomly how the skills of the other Sims that you're not even playing as develop, like that you have very little control over. I'm trying to decide how, when I do it, I'll play, like if I'm going to do just the same house the whole time, or if I'm going to like switch week to week, like which house I'm playing in, or what, I don't know. I guess there's a lot of variations. That's why what I thought was really cool about this like challenge is that there's so many variations to it. The creator, she has a whole, or he, sorry, has a whole page, like web page, that like a WordPress page that they put together for this whole challenge. And that's kind of what they referenced, is that it's very versatile. And, you know, I think I kind of do tend to get a little bored playing. Like I've tried to do a legacy challenge so many different times, and I end up stopping after like 2 generations because I'm just kind of like, this is, I don't know, Sims 4 is not the most exciting in terms of gameplay. I just filmed a Sims 3 video that I'll probably post soon. I literally played The Sims 3 for like 4 hours and just talked about how much more fun the gameplay is in The Sims 3. But so I don't know, I get a little like, I feel like the gameplay gets a little stale with just doing like a different career every time. But this felt like very interesting, and again, I think it'll be funny to see like what the Sims do when left to their own devices for like a long period of time. And the other thing is that I'm going to plan to do is like start them out as kids and maybe do kids for like a month of game time, so like 4 weeks, and then age them all up to teens, and then maybe like switch the houses up or something like that, because I think I'm just gonna make some random Sims. I'm gonna give them all families that live in the world. It's gonna be very time consuming to do all of this, but so basically they're all gonna have like families that can come and visit them and stuff like that, or they can go home to visit their families for a weekend or something. And then, you know, I'll age them all up and kind of see like what random traits they get and how they would fit together into a different house. So yeah, I think this is also something that like can go on for a really long time, and then, you know, it's just, I like that the challenge, I guess, like I keep putting challenge in quotes because there's not much of a like, it's not like the legacy challenge where the goal is like get to 10 generations, or like rags to riches where it's like be rich starting with nothing, like have 1 million simoleons or whatever. It's really kind of a very versatile and like, I don't know, it's gameplay that you can just sort of do whatever you want with, and I like that. So here I'm building the classroom. Basically, this is like where they all have their little desk with a computer. I put some of those science tables down. I already started building one of the other houses, and that one's kind of a more like modern build. And so this one, I want the emphasis to be a little more on like artsy stuff, like creative type stuff. And that one, I'm doing the emphasis more on like science, you know, techie type stuff. And then probably the last one I'll do maybe a little more traditional, like the violin and like writing skill and stuff like that. I don't know, like maybe I'll put a library in there or something. But yeah, this one I just wanted to be like really, like I said, colorful, maybe whimsical is a word you could use, and it really was just based on that I really don't know what the name of that kit is. Late night. I don't know. Okay. I'm just gonna, what you all know what I'm talking about. Which, yeah, I mean, maybe I'll take a moment here to have an obligatory rag session on kits. Kits suck. I'm not really a fan. I haven't bought any of the cast kits, like any of the kits that only have cast stuff. I've not bought because I usually use CC in my game, and I think there's so much good like cast CC out there. So I've never felt compelled to buy one of the cast kits. But I like to build. I said it in another video that I made, I'm not really a good builder. I don't consider myself to be extremely talented at building. Like even this, I think, is a little bit of a mess. Which, I mean, I was okay with it here because it's kind of supposed to be a bit of a mess. But anyway, but I like to build. I enjoy like building different things, and I like to share on the gallery because it's kind of fun to like see other people's creations, and like when you've made something and someone downloads it, it just kind of feels cool to think like someone else is using your little house that you built in their game. So yeah, I have like all the build ones. I have Bust the Dust, but I don't have any of the cast ones. And basically my opinion echoes what I think most people's opinions in this community are. I think it's really unfortunate that we haven't had an expansion pack since Cottage Living. And I mean, especially because I loved Cottage Living so much. Like I had really kind of gotten into a rut with The Sims before Cottage Living came out, and then when Cottage Living came out, I played like a maniac. Like I couldn't stop myself, and that pack was so engrossing. And I think that's something that specifically with The Sims 4 that I've personally struggled with. Like I don't think the game is that engrossing. I don't think it's something it's very easy for you to kind of check out and kind of realize you're playing a game and not get like so sucked into it, which maybe some people think that's a good thing. I personally like to like really be in the game and feel like, oh my goodness, I can just play like it happens to me all the time with Xbox. I'll like download a random game that I find, and then all of a sudden like the whole day is gone. Like on the weekend I'll just be like, okay, let me check this game out, and then all of a sudden it's like 5 p.m. and I'm like, where did the day just go? And that, not to say that that's never happened to me with The Sims 4, just it's not something that happens to me all that often with The Sims 4, because the load screens is a big part of it. There's nothing that takes you out of the gameplay like having to sit through a load screen for, sometimes it can legitimately go on for like 5-10 minutes. Like I'm not even kidding. There have been times where I'm like, okay, this load screen's up, I'm gonna like go get something to eat. By the time I get there, the game will be like started again, and sure enough it is not. And then I sit there for another like 3 minutes like, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing here? But anyway, but so I to get back to the point I was making, Cottage Living really was, I felt like, a very like engrossing like pack, like expansion pack that reinvigorated my love for this game. And the fact that we haven't really gotten anything like it since is upsetting. Like that does not make me happy. The wedding pack I got like as soon as it came out, but honestly I haven't played with it much yet. I'm in the process of, in my like let's play with Max Hinkle, where I'm trying to take one male sim and have him start a family in every world in The Sims 4. I am literally like doing some of it, like the bachelor party, for the first time because I don't know, I got it and I knew it was going to be glitchy when it first came out, and then just haven't really all of the stuff I've done since then hasn't really been gameplay where there'd be a wedding, so just haven't gotten to it yet. So I don't have a lot to say. I like the concept of the weddings one. I mean, again, I think this is something that's been said before. I don't love that, with Sims 3, Generations you can take like 5 packs that were released in The Sims 3 in The Sims 4, and all of that concept was like just in Generations in The Sims 3. I think I said concept and I meant to say content. Anyway. So, like, in The Sims 3 Generations, we got, like, laundry. We got, and even things that we don't have yet in this game, like prom, and all of these cool things with school, like kind of a graduation from high school. You got, oh my goodness, being able to teach your, like, teen to drive the car. Again, I, like, literally just played with The Sims 3, like, with a family the other day, so I'm, like, still so in it. But, like, we got all of this in one, like, the whole having a bachelor party and, like, all of those wedding kinds of traditions and, like, all the stuff with parenting. I mean, obviously, I think the parenting system that they put into The Sims 4 is, like, a little more developed in a way, but I don't know. It's just lame that, like, the content we get in multiple packs in The Sims 4 is not even equivalent to one expansion pack in The Sims 3. Quick comment here. You may have noticed that all of a sudden all of these rooms were done and I didn't show myself building them. I sat and built and thought that it was recording for probably a solid like hour and a half, 2 hours, and then realized, oh, that was not recording. Cool. So basically I had built, it was mostly the rooms, and I think I rearranged some of the stuff outside. I mean, I didn't, like, I do the outside at the end. And I also put like a little laundry room downstairs. Like, there wasn't a ton that I did, and you'll see like all of the rooms because none of them were really finished. You'll see that my build style is very erratic. I can't, like, I think one of the reasons I don't consider myself very good at building is because I'm not super patient. And so I will like start one room or start like one part of the house, and I like kind of start to put ideas down and like do all this stuff, and then I'm like, or I'll see an object that I'm like, oh, I want to put that somewhere else, and so I'll go to that other room and then start doing that, and then I'm like, oh wait, I started building this other part of the house. So I'm pretty all over the place. So anyway, point being, you will see like this room, for example, you didn't see me build all of it, but you just saw it there because I went back and made some final touches. What I'm doing here is I wanted the, like I said, I kind of wanted these two rooms with the lofted beds to be, obviously they're not identical, but like really similar in terms of like they have the same items in them basically. Just one of them's like a little more conventionally girly, and the other one's more a little like conventionally boyish. So I basically just want those to be like the standard rooms, and then like I said, the other rooms will be like an award for the person who, whatever the activity is that week, like who did the best. They'll get to stay in the nice room. And then the bathrooms are the same. And then I do, you know, all the living room and everything after this, and just kind of made it very, again, loud and bright and colorful. This section upstairs, I make into kind of like a little crafting area. Because I wanted this house to be a little like artsy and, you know, maybe for the more like creatively inclined students. And then the other houses will be, one of them I want to be kind of like a traditional feeling, like boarding school type, you know, environment, like very, almost like Harry Potter-y, like mahogany and like, I don't know, like classic looking furniture. Whereas this one, again, I used a lot of the stuff from the movie night pack, like that boho theme, and but yeah, like the kids room stuff pack, and the toddler pack too. I think that rug is from the toddler pack. But again, it was kind of fun to make this build because, like I said, these are mostly objects that I never use when I build, like never. Not to say that I don't like colors, but I feel like when I build, I'm not like that whole, I don't know the names of any packs, guys. Like I'm sorry, the design one that came out recently that has, like the giraffe in it and that weird wall art that's like an optical illusion. That one. Like that stuff, I mean, I got it again because I like to build. I mean, I used some of that stuff in this build as well. But, I mean, it's too much. It's too many patterns. It's too loud. Like, I don't usually build that way. I'm kind of a more, like I'll use color, but it'll be, like, accent colors here and there. And more, you know, maybe I'll do, like, one kid's room as, like, a loud, fun, you know, room for the kid. But, mostly I kind of just build, like, a normal house. You know, like normal. I don't know what normal is, but maybe I guess bland. I build a bland house, and there's maybe one cool room for a kid, but I don't usually do all of this color and like, yeah. But again, it's fun. It's fun to kind of like go outside of your comfort zone and build something really different. And again, this was like a very distinct build because I had very specific gameplay in mind. Like putting that classroom in and like the whole backyard I tried to do like, you know, like a kids hangout. Like I really like that projector screen that we got with the new kit and, a lot of the like, that little swing is one of my favorite things. It's so cute. And so yeah. Here, I'm just making the hallway. I put Baby Yoda in the hall. You'll see in a moment. There he is. Just thought that was kind of fitting for the build as well. Yeah. I'm stammering right now because I don't know what else to talk about. So, you know, here I'm doing a little entryway. Oh, the other thing I thought would be cute was like this is kind of supposed to be a little entryway and I put like a playroom like right across from it because I don't know, that just reminded me like where I went to daycare. It was kind of set up like that, like there was this little room that the parents would walk into and then there was like a play area, and so I just like the idea of like the parents walking in and they like look across and their kids there like playing with something. I don't know, I just thought, and again, I've said this in other videos, other stuff I've recorded. Unfortunately, a lot of the stuff in The Sims 4 you really have to invent in your mind and like tell yourself that that's what's happening because the game isn't really going to. Although now, like, I feel like since the City Living pack came out, you can like give your residence keys to someone else and even like they'll just show up and be like, "Hey, I'm here." Or even with university, we had that as well, that like you'll go off to university in the dorms and like your mom will show up and you're like, "Mom, get out of here. I didn't ask for you to come." So maybe that'll happen in this, that their families, that's like, so the person who created this challenge, at least all the stuff they posted about when they did it, they used the spellcasters, which felt very Harry Potter to me. I mean, I think it sounds really cool and fun, but I just didn't feel like doing that type of gameplay. So I'm just making them. They're just going to be regular, like, non-occult Sims. But I think she just kind of randomly, or he, I'm sorry, I keep gendering this person and I don't know what their gender is. This individual, this fellow Simmer, just kind of randomly made Sims and like, you know, put them in whatever houses. I don't think, it didn't sound like they made families for them. But I just thought that would be cool to have them have more of like a backstory, if that makes sense, like more of a connection to the outside world. I think that'll make it a little richer. And you know, I definitely think with the story progression that we have now, it'll make it even more interesting because it'll be funny to see like what their families do, like while they're off in boarding school. Like, I'm sure we'll see families like adopt other kids and it'll be like, "Mom, Dad, you just adopted another kid without me? You sent me off to boarding school and then you went and adopted another kid? Wow, okay." Yeah, no, I think that is to say, I know I just was like talking smack about kits, but I do think a lot of the stuff they've been doing for free, like the free updates that they've made to the game recently, have been really good. Story progression is something we should have had forever ago. I mean, it's long overdue, but I'm so glad that it's here because it's really cool. I mean, you know, I've played enough, like, since it came, you know, since it's been in the game, to see that it's definitely changing gameplay. Like, I've been playing a lot now without, usually I play with mods. Like I said, I use CC, and, you know, I always have, you know, the basic mods. MC Command Center. That one. And I've been playing, like, without any mods in, because they were updating the game so frequently, it was, like, annoying me. I didn't feel like updating the mods for a while. And then I was playing without them, and actually it's kind of, like, before, to me, the game was almost unplayable without mods. Not sorry. But it was just so dull. Like, it was, nothing happened. Like, again, when Cottage Living came out, it was fun for a while because there was just a lot to do. I mean, there is a lot to do in that pack, but otherwise, it's just, it's really dull, especially compared to The Sims 3. But story progression is making it interesting. Like, it's so cool to see, you know, like stories unfold, like actual things happen in the game, independent of just, like, the Sims you're playing. And again, I think it'll be really cool in something like this, where you have a lot of Sims that have family, and just to see kind of, like, how everything unfolds in, you know, in the world as our Sims are off at boarding school. I also thought this was cool because, I mean, again, like Sims 3, I go back to it once again. Sims 3 had boarding school. You could just send the kids off to boarding school, but you couldn't actually, like, play at the boarding school. You could only send them off and then continue to play as, like, the family you know, your Sims. It was kind of just like if you got sick of playing with the kids. If you had too many Sims in your house, you could be like, yeah, you're going off to boarding school. But, so I thought that was cool as well, like, kind of bringing boarding school into the game. And I also, you know, obviously Newcrest makes sense. Like, this is on the challenge page. They mentioned using Newcrest just because it makes the most sense. You can build up everything. But I also kind of like this idea of Newcrest just being, like, this boarding school town where, like, all of the kids get sent off to go to boarding school. And I think that's what I'm going to, like, build. So I'll build, obviously, the houses. You know, each, like this, and there'll be 2 others. And then I'm going to build, like, I think the lot type will be a park, but it's going to be, like, the main campus, you know, of the school. And that'll be where, like, when we do inter-house competitions, they'll all go there. And then for the rest of it, I'll probably just build some, like, restaurants, cafes, like, other random, you know, community lots where they can hang out and stuff. And so, yeah, like, the whole town can kind of just be, like, controlled by kids, by, like, all of the kids in the boarding school. It'll almost be like a college town in that sense. But, like, Brightchester, Bridges, I don't know. If there's one thing you will learn about me, it's that I don't remember names of things. I don't remember faces of celebrities. I get made fun of it a lot. Made fun of for that a lot. Because I'll just be like, I don't know what that is or who you're talking about, even though I do. It just isn't. It isn't coming. So anyway, the town that came with the Sims Discover University. Sorry. It'll be like that, but better because, you know, we'll have a little more control over it. So this is winding down. We're almost done here. And yeah, I think, you know, again, I think this is like a really loud, crazy build. I've never built anything like this. But I'm actually pretty happy with how it came out. You know, in terms of it is very colorful. I use a ton of objects that I don't usually use. I got to use, the new pack for the backyard and like some of the new kits and stuff that I haven't really used a lot of yet. I guess I'll post this on the gallery. It's, I don't know how useful it will be to other people because, it's a very specific house. It's built for a very specific purpose. But I guess if you also want to play this challenge, you can use this one. And so yeah, I know that this is winding down. So I'm wrapping it up here. And I'm going to put one light down, and then that is the end. Okay, so that was my build video. I'm sorry for my weird rambling. I don't think any of that made sense, but hey, this is my first build video, just trying to talk for 30 minutes over me building. So hopefully you didn't hate this. If you didn't hate this, then you should like the video, because I think like is the opposite of not hating. And you should subscribe and share it with your friends. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!